morning. It is a Tuesday, I think. And yesterday, actually, I saw someone tweeting someone was complaining on Twitter that, like, what is happening to all these people who aren't working? Like, she tweeted that her, here, I think I'll take a screenshot and show it to you guys. But anyway, she tweeted that her friend had to shut down the patio of their, like, business because they weren't able to staff it, and because, like, people just aren't coming to work. And what is happening? Why, like, where are they getting their money from? Oh my gosh. And, like, I think it's actually a great thing. I think what is happening, I mean, this is just me, my perception of what is happening is that people are moving away from like the traditional work style, which is to have a job that like one full-time job that is gonna like completely carry you your entire life or whatever. People are kind of moving away from that model, and it's the economy being shaky that is forcing them to kind of get in that mindset where they're like, oh no, they're like realizing that one company, like the reason why they dedicated their entire full-time schedule to this one employer was because of security. Like, even if you're going to get paid more by doing individual contractor jobs, people still choose like these full-time 9-to-5 jobs. They still choose these they still choose these full-time, like working at Safeway or Walmart or, I don't know, McDonald's. People still choose that because it's security. It's like, it's a huge company and they feel secure that like, okay, this company is going to be here in 20, 30 years. So like, if I just stay here, I'll be set. You know what I mean? But now people are realizing with this economy that that's not the case. Like, they're actually doing a risky bet by working for these like big companies and giving and dedicating their entire schedule. Like, why should anybody have control of your entire schedule? Like, I have people that work for me, and more I'm paying people to do things for me, like whether in construction, cleaning, like online stuff or whatever. I don't really feel the need to hire anybody full time. I mean, I pay like my handyman or even cleaner, like I pay people. I mean, so far, all the people that work for me, I've been paying them more than they ask. So I'll be like, yeah, how much do you want for this job? They'll be like, let's say $30. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to pay you $45. And that's just how it is with me, because I would rather pay someone more than they ask for. But also I would rather not go after like really overpriced people. Like, I'd rather go after people that like are coming in with low expectations and I could like exceed their expectations. That just makes me feel good. And because it makes me feel like, it makes me feel like I don't have to force them to be with me 24/7. Like, I've worked at places where they paid me like so little and they still made me sign these non-compete forms, which basically promise that for the next 2 years, even if I leave their company, I won't take a job for anybody in the same industry. Like, that's really messed up. Like, that's awful. And so, like, the people that are working for me, like, they love working for me. And in fact, they will like push away their other jobs that they have just so they can come with me, because not only are they starting to feel secure with me that I'm always going to have jobs for them, they also they know that I'm going to pay them more than they ask. So that's positive reinforcement, not negative reinforcement. And that's like good. That's winning. People are going towards like gigs, they're going towards contractor jobs, and they're downsizing their lifestyle. This is totally my opinion, my projection based on just my personal life and just based on what I did myself. I downsized my life. I was like, okay, I'm going to like stop giving my entire schedule to this one employer, and instead I'm just going to reduce my costs of living so that I can be okay and get by with a much more flexible work style, like with like and so it's worth it for me to leave, it's worth it for me to like quit those jobs that take up my entire schedule, go to a place where I don't even need that kind of money to survive, so maybe like much less, and then instead, like, have the flexibility to have a kind of work style that I want. And, people are like, oh, but then who's going to do the jobs? Who's going to work the jobs? I think that everything is going to be fine. I think this is just a readjustment period. Like, the people that are going to have the jobs are going to be, first of all, people that are willing to do that. There are going to be people that are willing to do that, but also, like, a lot of these jobs are going to have to become restructured, like a lot of companies are going to have to downsize. They're going to have to change their entire business models because, first of all, there's so much that could be outsourced to other companies, and also to automation. Automation is, a lot of these like jobs that people don't want are things that could be automated. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for employers. You don't have to pay someone full time to do something that a machine can do. And then and then also people are realizing, they don't have to be working these like grungy, like soul killing, tedious work. Like, you could be making money in other ways. And so people are realizing that, and employers are gonna have to adjust to that, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. Like, oh no, who will collect the garbage? You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be garbage trucks that pay. And actually, from what I hear, garbage collectors get paid really well because there's a high demand for them. So the market is just gonna adjust. As long as the government doesn't screw with it, the market is gonna adjust itself. It's gonna okay, so when there's a high demand for things, nobody wants to do a job, you get paid more doing the job. It's just the way the market works. It's not like a rule that anybody decided. So I'm actually not worried at all. Like, oh no, where are all these people that are quitting their jobs going? I know, because I quit my job a few times, and I know where they're going. And I know people that are quitting their jobs, and they're quitting their jobs so that they can take more gig work, because there's still a lot of work to be done. And there's little baby employers like me that can't afford people full time, so we have to pay you for like individual jobs, and we treat you way better, like I don't make you sign a non-compete. You're mine to the end of time. For the next 5 years, you're mine, and you're not allowed to work for anybody doing anything like this. And also, your entire schedule belongs to me. I can call you any time of the day. You belong to me. It's like slavery. It's like slavery. Like, nobody should have full control of your entire schedule. That's actually, by our own standards, by our own Western standards, that's pretty invasive. And like, whatever, like, there shouldn't be laws against it, but like, people should realize that there's better options out there than doing that. I mean, it's good to do that if you can do that temporarily, which is why I love working at restaurants, because those are temporary jobs. You can work there, you can leave. Even if the manager says, don't leave me, you can leave. It's not a big deal. They don't make you sign a non-compete. The turnover rate is high. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I love restaurant jobs. And in fact, I stay longer at restaurant jobs than I do at other jobs. So, you want to be in places where people treat you well. You need people to treat you like human. And, just because a boss went through so much struggle to get to where they are and make their money, it doesn't mean that they have a right to make you struggle deliberately. You know what I mean? Like, if you can downsize and make things more efficiently, like, why do bosses need to treat you shitty in order for you to be okay? You know what I mean? Like there is a middle ground. There is a middle ground, and I think every employee is being enlightened and awakened to finding that middle ground, and every employer is being forced to downsize and maybe figure out what that middle ground is. So it's no longer like it's in a lot of places I feel like the economy is merging and there's starting to become a bigger gig economy, and employers are and in general we're kind of being forced to stop looking at things the way that we used to. Anyway, I hope that was a good assessment of the situation. Yeah, sorry to report, my place is still very, very messy, and hopefully maybe I can get some of it done today, but like I have less than 10 days. Less than 10 days before my trip, and I'm so nervous that I'm not going to get this done. Wish me luck.